side note, I've been finding that Marks and Sparks, yeah, nah. They weren't lying when they said that it's not just any food, it's M&S food. They were not lying, man. Them cookies, yeah, crazy. I sounded like Scooby-Doo when I said that as well, but them cookies, yeah. That treacle with those cookies, crazy. Alright, cool. We're at the spot. There are some windmills. What's it called? Wind turbines in the distance. Anyways, as I was saying, which I was not. We are about a 2-minute drive away from where I was the other day. Anyways, long story short, we are about, hold on a minute. Okay, so this is where we are at Ogmore by Sea, 2 seconds away from Ogmore Castle, which is where I was just a couple days ago. Let's hope that it's not too busy today, because I'm seeing a couple pedestrians over there. The TikTok that gave me the coordinates to this spot, Loki might have played me a little bit, because those dunes are over there. It's about an 11-minute drive, an hour 47-minute walk, and I kind of want to check that place out more than this side. This is a special spot. They got sand touching the grass, touching the sand over there. Yeah, man, it's looking like this is actually like a beach kind of spot, low-key. So how on earth does this actually happen? Like, how does the ground end up like this? You know what I mean? I don't get it, man. I'm realizing that actually, if I decide to put my geography head on, the marshy kind of like look over there actually makes sense, considering how close this spot is to the sea. So I'll set the mics up at this point. I've got about 47 minutes of recording time today. Do I have much to say? I got some stuff to say. Let me switch the thing around. It's me. I got some stuff to say. Also, why didn't any of you remind me to put on the little fluffy fluff on the mic the other day? Because I took a little re-listen to the voice footage. Tell me why it sounded like I was trying to talk while there was a vacuum cleaner right next to me during half of the thing. Crazy. I was like scandalous. Yeah, these supermodel B fans. Anyways, yeah, long story short, I'm gonna have to do my hardest to make that footage listenable because it was crazy. I'm not gonna show you guys actually what piece of equipment I have, because they still haven't given me a sponsorship deal. I say as if I didn't get about 5 views on my most recent video. Anyways, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. I'm gonna say that at the beginning of the video today instead of the end, because I know you guys don't be retentioning or be retending these videos. 3, 2, 1. Alright, cool. You should be able to hear me a lot clearer now. I can hear clearly now. I don't know the words. Anyways, shiny shoes in the building. You know the vibes. Candid talks with the one and only. Anyways, let's go through the fit real quick. A little Stussy Nike action on the top. This is one of my favorite tops that I own, period, to be honest with you. One of my favorite sweatshirts that I own, period, to be honest. You'll be going crazy over some jumpers, but your girl giving the whole crew neck. Come on, let's go. Anyways, I stole that from a meme, but yeah, so don't credit me for that. Little Fruit of the Loom white t-shirt underneath. These are some of the best white t-shirts, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise. They're cheap, affordable, amazing. They fit nice, and they're just a good basic tee. You already know. The bottoms that I've worn on every single episode of Candid Talks so far, Yeezy Gap, plus the Salomons as the little crepes. Anyways, where should I even point the cam today? Truthfully, I don't actually think I need to move the cam that much over the course of this video. Unless I see anything interesting, that would be cool to move the cam to. What I wanted to talk about today was the idea of gratitude and showing gratitude for things. Not a lot of people show gratitude when they're grateful. You know what I mean? It's like, how do I even begin this? The reason why I got into this mindset of gratitude is because, well, one, I think I saw a post or something. You know those self-help Instagram posts where they're like, oh yeah, you need to do this and then you'll feel so much better about this. Yeah. I might actually move the cam because it looks really cool over here. I actually haven't got that much time as well. I've got about 25 minutes before the sun goes down. It's currently 8 minutes to 4 p.m. on the 28th of December in the year of our Lord, 2025. Yeah, it's important to practice gratitude. One, because it will just make you feel better on your day-to-day. Like, you'll feel happier in your day-to-day. It's a couple of things that will make you feel happier in your day-to-day if you practice them. One, I feel like number one is definitely gratitude, or at least it's up there. After gratitude, I'd probably say, Wagwan. I swear I'm not out of breath. It's just that I got a little sniffle right now. I don't know if I've spoken about this on a Candid Talks before, but in order to practice gratitude, obviously it's baby steps, but one of the things that you can do is, instead of thinking, and I've said this a couple of times to a couple of different groups of people, and I get mixed reactions. Most of the time, the reactions are like, that was a nice skim. The reactions are like, okay, cool, whatever, I don't care. And I feel like that's most of the reactions to anything I say, which may be part of the reason why I started this series, just simply because I need to get my thoughts out without having to face the negative energies in real life. That's one of the things that I'm really bad at doing, facing negative energies in real life. Like, I immediately just get into defensive mode. I don't necessarily start cussing people, but it's like I just get into defensive mode and try to, like, I don't know. I do know what I do. It's just that my mind's preoccupied on skimming a stone. I am actually left-handed, but I'd be skimming with my right hand. Truthfully, I could skim with my left. Completely irrelevant. Where's the camera? It's over there. Hey, what's up? Instead of thinking to yourself when you have a responsibility such as going to the gym, picking someone up from the airport, whatever, I get to go to the gym today. I think I've said this before. I get to go to the gym today. I get to spend time with my friend or my family member that I have to pick up from somewhere. You know what I mean? You'll enjoy life more. Another way to feel more happy with your life is to not take life so seriously. I think that's a problem that, honestly, the entire internet seems to have a problem with nowadays. Both liberals and Republicans? Is that what they call them? The right-wingers. You know, I'm, I guess you could say center-left on the political compass, but leaning more towards libertarian left, as opposed to authoritarian left. That's what it is. Yeah, the Stalinists and Marxists and all of them. Not necessarily one of those guys. Part of the reason why I had this thought about gratitude was because the other day I was in Cardiff, St. David's shopping centre, matter of fact. Literally, just outside of Marks and Spencer in St. David's shopping centre. If you know, you know. Side note, I've been finding that Marks and Sparks, yeah, nah. They weren't lying when they said that it's not just any food, it's M&S food. They were not lying, man. Them cookies, yeah, crazy. I sounded like Scooby-Doo when I said that as well, but them cookies, yeah. That treacle with those cookies, crazy. I crossed paths with my old PE teacher from back in secondary school. My old PE teacher. He left when I was in he must have been year 11, honestly. I can't remember when or why exactly he left. I think it was something to do with, I'm not gonna lie, I think it might have been something to do with race. Based on some of the hubbub that I saw on socials and whatever. Anyways, that was like nearly a decade ago now. 2017, I believe, is when he left. I was going through something back in the day. It wasn't anything too serious, granted. It kind of does still get to me to this day, but it wasn't crazy. It was racial. It was racial stuff going on at the time. You know, back in the day, it was before the Great Shift. Let's just say that. I hope that will give you enough info. It was before the Great Shift. And the thing with the Great Shift was all this love and affection that we hadn't been getting as a melanated community, we suddenly started getting. And it was like, I'm going off topic again. Long story short, all of these skinny white boys were pushing boundaries and getting too comfortable. And this PE teacher, he was black, to be clear. This PE teacher, I remember he pulled me to the side one day. He was like, yo, just to be clear, I I'm hearing a lot of hubbub about this, and I want you to be honest with me on whether or not, whether or not it's okay with you, whether or not it's bothering you. And at the time, I was just a passive guy that kept my head down, didn't really take anything too seriously, just simply for the fact that, fear was woven into me from a young age regarding standing out. This guy, basically, he was almost the guy that set the ball rolling in terms of having pride in myself as a melanated person. When he pulled me to the side this day, he was like, to be clear, we can set some things in place so that this can stop in case it is bothering you. And me, I was mad naive. I was like, 14, 15? I didn't really know about all of that. All of the socials were just starting. All of this whole, I'm not gonna lie, these trends surrounding BLM and all of that kind of thing, they weren't really a thing as of yet. So I was just like, nah, I don't care. It's not that deep, blah, 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 blah. School will be over soon. I don't really care. Maybe mid-year 9 to mid-year to the end of year 10, let's say. Which is crazy because some way, somehow, it managed to survive through the summer holidays, which is crazy because kids be forgetting stuff. So for them to remember to be racist through the summer holidays is crazy. It's whatever, man. Nothing I can do about it now. It's like smack them if I see them in these streets. If I see any of you in these streets, it's long for you. I'm playing. I'm half playing. I'll definitely look at you guys sideways. Like, say you guys are even watching this video. Of course you're not watching this video. Yeah, so basically he set the ball rolling. And I saw him in St. David's shopping centre outside of Marks and Sparks. Saw him. And I've seen him a couple times outside of school, actually, since then. I think this might be the third time that I've seen him since school. So, yeah, I've seen him more times than any of my other teachers, matter of fact. Maybe the other teachers just be hiding and they don't want to see me, I don't know. But anyways, let me move the camera. So I was saying, maybe the other teachers just be hiding. Like, they see me and then they're like, ooh, that's shiny shoes, let me dip. Let me hide behind these frozen chips or something. But yeah, I approached him. I was like, hey, it's the GOAT. What's good? What's good? Obviously, he didn't remember my name. He was like, hey, what's up? How you doing? Yeah, not too bad, sir. He did the whole, oh, wow, you're bigger than me now. Wow, you've been going gym. Yeah, sir, yeah, whatever. Anyways, look, this is mad random, but I wanted to show appreciation for, we need more teachers in the UK. Like, because I could tell that he was kind of in a rush to go get his whatever, because this was on, like, I don't know what, the what of December. But he was in a rush to go get his whatevers. And, it wasn't the right time to keep him there for a whole conversation in the middle of St. David's. But I was just like, I'll keep it short because I know you're on your way to somewhere, but I wanted to show appreciation for you as a teacher in the UK. We need more black teachers in the UK. He agreed with me. He was like, yeah, do you know what? I'm not going to lie, I agree. I was like, yeah, like back in school, you probably don't remember, but you kind of set the ball rolling in regards to, having pride in my identity. The guy definitely doesn't remember this because this was just a normal working day for him. He was just working, he was just doing his job. You know what I mean? Just working. Doing up PE teaching, and I didn't even really care about PE back in the day. I was good, but I wasn't even that good, let's be honest with you. All these guys were just trying to play football every day, and I was trying to do up other things, because I hate football. It's gay as hell. You're basically a bunch of guys chasing balls around the field. You know what I mean? Like, that's... I'm playing around when I say that. Shout out the girls and the gays. But anyways, so yeah, that's what I said to him. And he was like, wow, thanks, I appreciate that. Shook his hand. He shook my hand. And just went about his day. And, I could tell that he just wanted to go about his day. But truthfully, I had this thought months ago. I really do think that any opportunity that you have to show gratitude that you don't take is a wasted opportunity at improving someone's day. Improving someone's day, even just slightly. The energy we put out into the world And this is kind of selfish to think, but a selfish way of thinking about it, but it's true. The energy we put out into the world will always be reflected back to us in some way, shape, or form. Even if it's a fractional amount that we don't even notice or recognize, it's still important to do so. The energy we emit will always be reflected back to us, because that he wanted to go about his day, but I know for a fact that positive energy put into someone else's life, into his life, he probably, it improved his day slightly, and as a result of that, he interacted with someone else later on that day, and it was probably a positive interaction. That person took that positivity and interacted with someone else positively, and then boom, they carried on interacting with other people. And you know the whole principle of 7 degrees of separation. Everyone is connected through 7 people or less around the entire world. In Cardiff, I'm not gonna lie, it's probably 2 people. Let's be honest with ourselves. Everyone knows someone who knows you. So yeah, cool guy, Mr. B, I appreciate you. Probably not watching this video, but regardless, yeah, you were the GOAT, man. You were the GOAT. May not have been my favorite teacher at the time, but looking back, you were definitely one of the most important ones. So yeah, good guy. Where was I going with this? Yeah, showing gratitude. The whole 7 degrees of separation thing. It will always be reflected back to you in some way, shape, or form. No matter how long it takes, no matter how little it is, it will always still be reflected back to you. And even if it's such a tiny amount, why not do your bit to make the world a better place for those around you? You know what I mean? Like, why would you want the world to be a negative place? Empathy, guys. Basic empathy. You know what I mean? It's free to be a good person. And, you know, I know that there's a whole anxiety thing as well, which is like being anxious interacting with people in the wild, in the real world. But at the same time, it's like, you know, you ever see those rejection therapy videos where they be going out and asking people for random stuff? I'm not saying that you have to do that, but little steps, man, baby steps. Just force yourself to do little things. And soon enough, you will find yourself. It's a muscle that you have to exercise. The first step is always the hardest, but once you overcome that, it becomes so much easier. Yeah, it's a lot more people around here than I initially thought, and I'm probably talking a lot louder than I initially thought as well. It also doesn't help that I've got my noise cancelling headphones on as well. And that's what I had to say regarding that. What else did I even have to say? Let me go into my notes, man, because we still got some daylight here. Let's have a look. These birds are loud, bro. Alright, cool. So, yeah, the energy we emit, which is actually an idea for a CANDID tapes that I had that I still haven't put out yet. I remember I started recording for it, I started typing for it back in August of 2024. Do you know how long ago that was? Over 365 pages ago. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Your life is a book, right? Each day is a page. And you've been procrastinating something for 365 days. Not even 365 days, 10 days, 10 pages. Can you imagine a book presenting an idea, presenting like something, and then it just leaves you on a cliffhanger for about, each month is a chapter, for 12 chapters. Can you imagine that? Do you know how pissed off I would be? Do you know how pissed off I would be? I'm pissed off at myself just thinking about it. Now, I need to get on I need to pull my socks up, bro. That's what I need to do. Because that's crazy. I need to lock in. And so do you guys. Anyways, I don't know if you can see that family over there, but I'm pretty sure they just heard my little motivational thing. So hopefully they take it with them. You're welcome, guys. I got 18 minutes of recording time left, so let's make the most of it, eh? Alright, cool. Hopefully the cam doesn't get blown over. This is such a dumb thought, but it might lead to something. And truthfully, I feel like that's how, it's all about your perspective when it comes to that kind of thing. But I do think that being an intimacy coordinator, especially in these times, is probably one of the most stressful jobs imaginable. Think about it. Films and TV shows like Normal People, one of my favorite shows of all time, by the way. The dialogue in there, Normal People and the Before trilogy, Before Sunset, Before Sunrise. No, sorry, Before Sunrise, Before Sunset, and Before Midnight. That trilogy right there, crazy. Dialogue in there, crazy. And I do think that that is what a lot of good TV, good media in general is missing. Good dialogue, good realistic dialogue. Because let's be honest with ourselves. This is kind of what pissed me off about The Fault in Our Stars. No teenagers talk like that. No normal teenagers talk like that. The way normal people talk is like Connell and Marianne in Normal People. You know what I'm saying? No pun intended. I mean, pun intended, yeah. Anyways, yeah. Yeah, so being intimacy coordinator, mad stressful. Doesn't seem fun. I would not want to do it. But then again, I don't know. Oh, look at the duckies. Look at the ducks. Hold on. Do you know what? Never mind. You guys, use your imaginations. I'm not doing all that. I don't blame people for disappointing you. I blame yourself for trusting them. And there's truth in that. There's truth in that saying. That's such a BS thought. That's some nonsense. Come on, lock in, lock in. Bro, I just be writing nonsense in my notes nowadays. You know what's crazy to me? What was crazy, and I hate talking about school because I'm about 8 years out right now of year 11 anyways, but I do think it's crazy how popularity can transfer between schools. You know what I'm saying? Like, certain people were popular in like year 8, and then they'd move school and they'd be popular until year 11. You know what I mean? How did that happen? How was that a thing? It's crazy. It's crazy when you deep it. Certain people just have it and certain people don't. You know, another thing regarding happiness that I think is so important is not engaging in BS. Genuinely, not engaging in BS will make you so much happier. If you just learn to get it in your head to just scroll at the first sign of BS, you'll be so much happier. Because it's like, look, I see. Maybe this is just the stuff. I don't think it's the stuff I interact with. I think it's genuinely the algorithm sowing divide in the communities, because there would be no other way that the comments would be full on every single post, fueling gender divide or sex divide, gender-based divide, sex-based divide. You know what I mean? It's crazy to me how the higher ups want divide so that they can stay high up. Why do you think us on the lower end of the scale are still on the lower end of the scale? Because the people higher up want us to be that way. They don't want us to make it there. They want themselves to be the only ones up there. Think about how many billionaires there are in the world in comparison to. Think about the wealth divide, period, man. Do you know how much money the name a random country in the top 10, in the top 10 GDPs? Do you know how much money those countries put out? And imagine how poor the poorest people in those countries are. It's crazy. And yet, you look at the GDP per capita, bro, we could all be living lavish. We all could be. We all got our own chickens, man. Quack, quack, quack. That's the second video I made that reference in. But it's true. We could all have our own chickens going quack, quack, quack. And people just don't, Anyways. But yeah, man, it's crazy when you think about it. Long story short, stop engaging with BS and you'll be so much happier, because you'll realize that that's an interesting looking stick. Wow. Has this been like, I feel like this has been rubbed against by the rocks or something like that. I can't remember what we call it. It's not abrasion, but it's something else. Anyways, yeah, I might keep this low key. This is cool. It's cool how smooth it is. It's been naturally sanded by the rocks. Wow, I got an A in geography GCSE and I can't remember what the term is. That's crazy. I do think it's interesting how Instagram seems more formal than TikTok. That's interesting to me. You know, they sort of marketed themselves as like I said, a more formal version of TikTok. Instagram Reels seem more serious than TikToks. Maybe I need to do some more thinking on this, but is there necessarily a reason for that? I don't know. Maybe it's to do with who they want to market themselves to. Maybe Instagram wants to make themselves more business oriented, but then again, TikTok is trying to make themselves more business oriented as well, if your eyes are open. If your eyes are open, TikTok for business, that exists. This is an interesting one. Is the fact that the judges' mics are on during performances on like X Factor and Britain's Got Talent, is that an indicator of the production prioritizing the reality TV aspect of it? Because you don't realize it when you're watching it as a kid, but as you get older, you soon understand this is reality TV. This is reality TV. And they're prioritizing that over the talent. They're prioritizing that over the music, bro. Over what people come in there for. But what people actually come in there for is to see people get embarrassed. Is to see people become a laughing stock. People want to laugh at people, man. It's human nature to want to laugh at people, to want to see people do worse than them, I think. It's weird. It's like almost morbid. But at the same time, there's a certain level as well. Because all of those, water aids, blood, whatever, British Heart Foundation, Christian Aid, all of this kind of thing. All of those charities try to tug. These ducks are so cute, man. All of these, all of these charities try to tug on the heartstrings through showing you images of people starving to death. Whole time they're doing a horizontal behind the camera, like, hey, drinking and eating, man. It's crazy, like it's a nature documentary or something. It's crazy, it's messed up, and yeah. Let me sync it up again. Hold on. 3, 2, 1. Cool. Oh, I left my bag all the way back there, and I've seen people walk past. So this is me trusting in humanity to not take my bag. Anyways, where was I? My lady called. I got distracted. Where was I? Oh, right, yeah, they'd be tugging on the heartstrings because they know that. I saw someone talk about this on Instagram Reels today, actually. I do think it's human nature to want to see people suffer, to want to see people do worse than them, to want to feel higher than the next person. Because, and I do think that that's kind of why people hate Nepo babies so much. Because they hate the fact that people had to do less work than them to get to where they are. And that's understandable. I just wish that they would accept that and that they would admit to it. You know what I mean? Like, it makes sense that you dislike, but yeah. Instead of being like, oh, I just hate that they don't admit that, I just hate that there are people that do Bro, put your network, man. Network. And I know that's easier said than done, but genuinely, just network, bro. People be talking about like, oh yeah, I'm a creative, I do this. You don't be creating anything. You don't be putting anything out into the world. All you do is show up to events and wall hug the entire time. And try to make money off aura alone, bro. That's not how you network. Go chat to people. Go create your own culture. Create your own culture if the one you want to get into won't let you. You know what I mean? That's how that's how innovation occurs. That's how new things get brought into the world. You guys probably can't even see me right now because of how dark it is. But genuinely, I'm being for real. I'm standing on business. All you people, money, money, money. I'm standing on business. Man, Justin Bieber, man. That guy must have been going through it for him to say that, bro. He must have been so pissed off when he... Do you know how pissed off you need to be to start misusing phrases? Yeah. He's had a life, bro. He has had a life. I feel so bad for him, honestly. But anyways, it might be time to close off right now, because it's getting dark. I know you guys can't see me. I left my lamp, my flash, in my car, unfortunately. So, you guys hopefully if I get close. Wow, you guys really can't see me. Let me show you guys the ducks. Hopefully you guys can see. Yeah, there they are. You might have heard them quacking. Yeah, this camera struggles to focus when it gets dark, unfortunately. Anyways, yeah, hopefully you saw them. But yeah, regardless, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope that you guys continue to keep it real. If you're a real person, if you're real, feel free to like the video. Feel free to like the video if you liked the video. If you disliked the video, please feel free to like the video as well. That would be nice. Do you know how much nicer the world would be if we actually interacted with the things that we like? Even dislike. If you dislike the video, like the video and cuss me in the comments. Interact, bro. I hate how we live in a world of zero interaction nowadays. That's not how you foster community. That's not how you... Man, anyways, like the video if you like the video. Like the video if you dislike the video, and cuss me in the comments. Cuss me in the comments if you like the video as well. If you like something I said, let me know. Don't talk to me about it in real life either. Talking about some, I saw the video you posted and I think da 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 da. You saw the video but you didn't comment or like or subscribe. What's your problem? What's wrong with you? Do you want to see me succeed or not? You know what I mean? Even if you don't want to see me succeed, hate watch me. Hate watch me. Do you know how many people I hate watch and hate listen to? Okay, that's not true. That's not true. Maybe every now and again, but not often. Regardless, keep it real, keep it cool, keep it calm, keep it blessed. Not too much stress. And yeah, I'm gonna enjoy the view, man. I'll see you later. Alligators. Look at that over there. It's a little village, a little town. Crazy. Ooh, I only got 1 minute left. Anyways, yeah. That's all I got to say. I actually have more to say, but I just don't have the time because the sun's gone down. But yeah, keep it real.